I'm Robin Trudeau, and I'm the founder of Empower Total Health. And the topic that I want to talk to you about in this week's weekly update is the idea of majoring in minor things. This idea, which I first came across when a very early mentor of mine, back when I was a naturopathic student, actually, was quite keen on the motivational speaker Jim Rohn. And I'm not sure if this phrase predates Jim Rohn, but certainly it's very strongly identified with him, majoring in minor things. And so the reason this came up, by the way, was because once a month I conduct an Ask Robin session. It's like an open Q&A, which is for members of my Empower Ed membership program. And the idea is that members who have those kind of, general interest questions about foods or about exercise or about nutrition or about medical testing and so forth, things that don't relate to their personal health issues but that they have a general curiosity about, they can ask me in this session, and they're lively and fun and really entertaining. I'll tell you how you can participate in one of those sessions in a couple of minutes. But okay, so a couple of the questions that I answered in the last Ask Robin revolved around things like the nutritional value of certain foods, herbs and spices, as a matter of fact, and also whether spirulina was better than chlorella as a in supplemental form. Now, these of course are perfectly valid questions, and because I'm a big geek girl, I do enjoy researching this stuff, and so when I present answers to members in this Ask Robin session, it's not just my opinion. I draw on the medical literature and I actually show my process of how I research these topics. But what occurred to me as I was, delving into the science on this was that it could well become a manifestation of majoring in minor things. So what is that? Simply put, majoring in minor things means putting undue attention on small things that don't make a real difference, while neglecting to pay attention to the larger actions that make a huge difference. For example, if you've been sedentary for a really long time and you want to get fit, learning everything that there is to know about the relative benefits of Tabata-style high-intensity interval training versus steady-state cardiovascular endurance training won't shift the needle for you. You just need to get your rear end off the couch and move. The major thing to focus on at the outset is to change your sedentary habits. Which method you choose to do this is the minor consideration, at least at that point in time. Likewise, if you're currently eating the standard Australian diet or the standard American diet, what we in my business refer to as the SAD, the SAD, then researching the relative antioxidant capacity of mint versus basil so that you could decide which one of them you should put in your salad is frankly a big fat waste of your time and effort. The major thing for you to focus on, the action that will make the most profound positive difference to your state of health, is just to get more whole or minimally processed plant foods on your plate. And by that I mean whatever whole or minimally processed plant foods you care to eat. So clients will ask me, shouldn't I eat sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes? And I say, eat whichever grabs your fancy on the day, because either is way better than a Big Mac. Or, a client will ask, are blueberries more nutrient dense than apples? I don't really care. I'd rather see you eating either of those choices than eating a donut. Or a client will say, I know I'm supposed to like kale. I know it's a superfood, but I can't stand it. Can I eat spinach instead? To which I answer, if it's green, it's good. Eat it. Except if it's a green Slurpee, don't eat that. Sure, once you've made the major changes in your way of living that are going to deliver, as it turns out, the lion's share of the outcomes you're after, so losing the bulk of the weight, reversing the diabetes, tapering off the prescription medications. After you've achieved that, you might then want to turn your attention to fine-tuning the minor points to address any issues that remain unresolved after that process of changing the major things. So that might be fine-tuning your diet to drop just the last 5 kilos, or maximizing your athletic performance, or getting off the very last dose of the very last drug. That's when you might get some benefit from paying attention to minor details. But majoring in minors, in other words, obsessing about small details that really lack the power to generate significant changes, leaves people feeling overwhelmed and more often than not completely paralyzed. So many times I've seen clients who spend inordinate amounts of time on the internet, generally these days it's on the internet, researching endlessly which superfoods should I take, and then at the end of the day they'll collapse on the couch with a dial of pizza because they're too tired and they're too brain fagged to get in the kitchen and cook the broccoli that they already had in their fridge. And that's what would have made the changes, the big difference for them. Stephen Covey, author of one of my favorite books that's sort of not strictly speaking health related, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And this is how he put it: anything less than a conscious commitment to the important is an unconscious commitment to the unimportant. Let that sink in for a minute. So ask yourself, what major things do you need to do in order to generate the most significant positive shifts in your health and happiness? After you've thought about and probably written down a list, not too large a list, just choose one and make a conscious commitment to implementing this one thing consistently in your life every day for 3 weeks. And whether that's eating a raw vegetable salad every day, which is one of the most frequent pieces of advice that I give my clients, or whether it's walking for 30 minutes every day, or meditating every morning, or whatever it is that you choose, make sure you schedule this activity. Put it on your Google Calendar or your iPhone, or write it on your weekly planner and put it on a whiteboard. Tell others that you're doing it, both for their moral and emotional support, but also for that accountability, which is really important. And don't let anything get in your way. Don't let anything come between you and doing that important thing every day, unless there's some sort of life-threatening emergency. This is a very simple exercise, but it's very profound, and it will demonstrate to you the power of majoring in the majors. It will also help you bust out of the false belief that anything less than perfection is failure, which is a very limiting belief that a lot of my clients suffer from. Taking imperfect action is always better than staying stuck in perfect inaction. Now, in case you do still want to know whether spirulina is better than chlorella or vice versa, and also a bunch of other questions that I covered in that session, like how to stop your hair and nails from breaking, how to prevent memory loss as you get older, what to do about elevated thyroid antibodies, whether we should be eating dietary fat to lose body fat, and a stack of other things. The video and audio recordings of that Ask Robin session, it was from April 11, so that the recordings, along with links to the studies and the other resources that I use to answer all those questions, they are available for you to watch and listen. There's an audio download as well in the Empower Ed members area, along with recordings and, again, all the detailed slides and notes of all the previous Ask Robin sessions and the deep dive webinars that I also conduct monthly. So if you'd like to get your hands on that, you can do so risk-free just by going to empowertotalhealth.com.au/empowered. So that's just EMPOWERED. And this is totally risk-free on your part because I offer a 1-month free trial of membership. So you can get in there and explore all the benefits of membership. It's not just those recordings, by the way, of the Ask Robin and Deep Dive sessions. It's also full recordings of seminars, of nutrition seminars and workshops and cooking demonstrations that I've done, and a whole lot of other resources on how to set up your kitchen, how to batch cook, how to meal plan, all the practicalities of making a whole food plant-based diet work for you. So I hope that you have enjoyed this talk and found it useful and helpful. If you have, please go ahead and like it, share it, and I look forward to catching up with you for next week's weekly update.